Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are like me and you love like dark, really just like edgy things and you're not necessarily somebody who likes wearing pink, you might like wearing pink eyeshadow. Just because in my opinion, I love wearing pink eyeshadow. I'm not necessarily a pink person when it comes to what I wear. Sometimes it changes, but not most of the time. But I feel like this kind of look is like just really vibing with me at the moment because it's dark, it's a little sultry, but it's still pink. There's some purple in here, there's some sparkle, but it's like, you know, it's a little bit of a darker take on things. And look at my flyaways, like look at that. Like that's just ridiculous. But that is the look that we're doing today. Kind of like this darker, like more like sort of slightly editorial version of a look, very colorful of course. But yeah, this is gonna be the look for today. If I sound a little bit congested, I apologize. I'm actually coming down with something which is not fun at all, but I hope you guys can forgive me enough to watch this video. So if you want to learn how to create this pretty dark look right here, then of course keep on watching. I was kind of toying around with the idea of using like really like vivid pinks and like a little bit like of some like lilac tones in my makeup today. I do admit that I really do want to use my Colourpop Ooh La La palette. This little baby right here is a palette that I really do like. I have featured this on my channel multiple times and I will put the relevant videos that I have posted pertaining to this specific product in the cards so you can enjoy those. It's in a playlist. I like my playlists. I actually have like a lot of playlists on my channel because I like to organize my videos in the best way I can. So I'm going to go really quickly and go in with like a little bit of a stiffer kind of brush. This has a little bit of like this like kind of like orangey red color in it. Do I care? Are we going to continue with this makeup? Yes, we are. I do think that it would kind of be fun to maybe go in with like this color right here. I do think that I actually haven't used this specific color as much as I've used, say, this one or this one, because like whenever I pick up this palette, I usually go for like these two colors like all the time, but I kind of want to like just experiment and see where that method of thinking takes me. Something I have realized more and more as I do like a lot of tutorials and get ready with me's and create a lot of looks for you guys is that a lot of times it can look a little bit boring if I tend to do the same eyeshadow shape over and over again, and that's why right now I'm trying to like just expand my horizons and really experiment with an eyeshadow silhouette, if you will, that's a little bit more unique. And it's kind of hard to do. It's kind of like hard to break out of your comfort zone and break out of what you're comfortable with, but here I am using very light and very like feather-like strokes to really just like work and try and create some like new lines and new shapes with my eyeshadow. But then again, I'm using very light strokes and I'm trying to just see what happens. I've sort of created kind of some atrocious progress in this look. I can assure you that I believe it's going to turn out a lot better than this is looking so far. We'll just, you know, ride this wave and see what happens. Maybe I can just like press this in using my finger and see if that like makes this color look a little bit more interesting. And by interesting, I mean a little bit more opaque. This is turning into such like a weird, like just me kind of look. Now like my makeup like mind, my like creative process is driving me to the Hasina 2. I think I'm gonna pick up like a fluffier brush and dip into Iris, which happens to be a beautiful lilac color, and we're just gonna see where this takes us. We'll just see how this turns out. It might turn out horribly, it might turn out reasonably well. We'll just see what happens. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking this brush and I'm just lightly applying this color into my inner crease. This particular shade, if you watched my Hasina 2 palette review, you would know that this particular shade is not necessarily as opaque as a lot of the other shades in the palette, which is why I do have to use a lot of layering to get the effect that I want with this particular shadow. I kind of like I'm looking at this and I'm not like altogether satisfied just yet. I like how the inner corner is coming along, but I do want to go in with some tape so we can inject some like graphic elements into this look and see how it goes. Now I'm applying some tape. I can't tell you how many times I feel that a look that I've done has been saved by tape, because tape literally makes really sharp lines and makes eyeshadow look amazing. Is it even? I don't think so, but it's okay. We can move on. Okay, so I'm just going to dip into this color right here with a flat brush and see how it goes if I stamp this color right along the tape. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm trying to use this flat brush, by the way, also from Colourpop, to sketch out a pretty like graphic looking wing, and I really want to make sure that the color payoff is pretty intense, which is why I actually switched to my fingers, because I did feel that it was easier to get a more pigmented, a more saturated result simply with using fingers. Now, my friends, we're going to be going with a stiff pencil brush. I'm going to pick up this dark purple color, okay, and this is going to go into my lower lash line. Now what I'm doing is I'm taking this pencil brush, and I did load on quite a lot of purple on there, but I'm kind of like using the tape in this case to create a little bit of like a line, so I can create a little bit of like a thin, more graphic under eye sort of purple application. I'm making no sense, but you guys know what I'm saying. You guys know what I'm doing, hopefully. But yeah, I'm just like trying to layer and layer the purple over and over again to really achieve this really vivid intensity. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to take this Super Shock shadow. It's called Co-Pilot and it's from Colourpop. And this is going to go into the blank space that is right in the center of my eyelid. Okay, so now I'm just applying this like really beautiful metallic reflective shadow with my fingers to the center of my eyelid. I feel that with my fingers I can get the most payoff, particularly with this shadow. Now that I have sort of like applied that cream shadow, the next thing that I want to do is take a little bit more of that lilac and sort of like dust this into my inner corner over the top of the cream shadow, just to make sure that everything kind of like just blends in a little bit more seamlessly. Obviously, I don't want like everything to be too blended in this look, but I just want to make things a little bit more cohesive. Now I kind of want to put in a little bit of like something special. I'm just going to dip into this glitter. This actually is from Lemonhead, and it's their Spacepaste, and I'm just going to put it right on top of that cream shadow. Honestly, a great way to save an eyeshadow look when you're not quite happy with how it's looking is simply by putting glitter on top. Like, honestly, that makes so many of my eye looks look so much better than they actually are. Not that this look looks bad, it's just that I definitely feel that the inclusion of that glitter really just elevates the entire look. Something else I want to do is apply a little bit of inner corner highlight. I'm going to go specifically for this color right here, and I'm just going to apply it to my inner corners with my fingers. I really want to create a bright, beaming inner corner highlight, which is why I am using my fingers to gently press the color into the skin. This is like not as reflective as I actually want it to be, so I'm going to go in with this silver right here, also from Colourpop. And I'm just going to take a little bit of it and just apply it into my inner corner, so hopefully we can get a little bit more reflection. Alright, so I feel like this does help a lot, this particular shade, because it's so reflective. But yeah, we'll see if I'm satisfied with it. I'm not really satisfied with this, and I think part of it might be because like it's so like dark outside that like the light isn't reflecting much, and that might be why I'm not really satisfied with this inner corner situation. So I think I'm going to take the highlight that I'm going to be using and maybe try that. Okay, that is, I think, a lot better. Yeah, this is actually the highlight I'm going to be using for my face. This is the Kylie Cosmetics loose highlight in the shade Santorini. I'm just taking some off the lid and I'm just like putting it into my inner corner. And now it is time for the tape to come off. And there it is. Not necessarily satisfied with the way things look here, but like I love this side. Maybe if I take like my pencil brush that I was using for my lower lash line and sort of like blend the lower lash line out a little bit, it will look better. I am using the same brush I used for the purple earlier with a little bit of residue left on it just to gently diffuse that line. Today is kind of like a no foundation kind of day. So I'm going to go in directly with the highlight. Like I said before, I'm just going to be using the highlight from Kylie Jenner, this highlight right here. I actually do think though that the highlight is applying a little bit unevenly because that I applied the tape, and for some reason whenever I apply tape and then highlight on top of the area that I applied tape on, the highlight just applies like in this weird way. So I think it helps if I do go over the area with a buffing brush, which is what I'm doing right now. Like there's really no product on here, so maybe that will help me apply the highlight in a bit of a more seamless manner. I do like to go in with highlight with a very light hand and just build it up because this highlight is quite intense and I just want to make sure everything looks a little bit seamless. A little bit on the nose, Cupid's bow, and chin. This is looking nice and highlighted, nice and wet. We like that. And now, my friends, it is time for a little bit of bronzer, which I will be applying to give my face some structure and some definition. I like to be very light-handed in my temple area, especially if I have shadow there, by the way. So I feel like that's looking good. Now I'm just going for mascara. I decided not to talk during this clip because I feel like, to be honest, since I was coming down with something and because like the weather was so gloomy and dismal outside, I felt like this video was a little bit dry when it came to like my narrative. So that's why I'm just doing this voiceover for this particular portion of the video. So what I'm doing here is I'm just applying some mascara and lashes. These are the House of Lashes iconic lights. I use them all the time. They're beautiful. And I'm also doing some lower lash mascara. The mascara I'm using is L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara, a phenomenal mascara. I would like to try the Sally Beauty mascara though. I'm kind of curious about that one. Next, I'm going to try and do my sort of like blurred diffused lip that I wanted to do. I decided to go in and apply the lipstick directly from the bullet and onto my mouth. The lipstick that I'm using is the Colourpop Lippie stick in the shade Chateau, and I just tried to apply it from the bullet, but you can see that this is not looking altogether that successful. I mean, yes, I was going for the blurred lip effect, but clearly it wasn't really working too well in this particular instance. So what I did is I just went in with some Huda Beauty lip liner. This is actually called a lip contour, and this particular one is in the shade Vixen. I just went in and sort of like cleaned up the edges of the lip look. I do think that this overall just greatly improved the lip look, so I feel like this was a good step to do. Now what I'm doing to really sharpen up the line, because I just felt like it was looking a little bit sloppy, I basically took a really small detail brush, dipped it into a little bit of foundation, and used it to sort of like sharpen the edges of my lip line. This is a terrific way to really perfect a bold lip look, and I do this trick all the time. You just pat the concealer or the foundation on the edges of your lip line, and then you take whatever like very clean but stiff brush that is available to you and you just diffuse that foundation. You just make sure that it's very blended, that it's very seamless. Again, a clean brush is crucial for this. Then what I did is I just took a little bit of gloss on my finger. I'm using the Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Diamond Milk. And again, I just pressed it into my lips and just spread it around for some gloss. Okay, my friends, so I think that's pretty much it for this look. I keep looking like at myself and I kind of like it a lot. I mean, it's minimal and it's like a little bit blurry. It's not perfect. I did want to create that bold lip, but I wanted to be like a little bit more of a blurred bold lip, if that made any sense. And I did have difficulty with that because I didn't really use a lip liner initially, but then I had to go back in and fix it. But I kind of like it. I hope you guys do as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.